We just did 2 straight wrestling matches, but this next one is not one of those. It is the infamous casket match of 1998, Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker, where Shawn Michaels literally broke his back trying to make this match as memorable as he possibly could. This is the era of Shawn Michaels that was headed toward the brick wall. This was the Shawn Michaels that was not the good person, far too many recreational habits, if you know what I mean, and was not in a good place. And there are many people that suggest that the broken back may have saved Shawn Michaels' life, just based on the trajectory that he was on personally at that time. Having said that, that era of Shawn Michaels might be my favorite of all time. Because, now hold on for everybody out there. He goes, wait. He had a great run on the comeback, and he did. That 05, 06 Michaels is pretty good. Or that 04, 05, 06 kind of era right there of Shawn is pretty fucking good. But this was the era of Shawn Michaels who he just didn't give a shit. He was outperforming people and was laughing through it. He was having matches with people where he was very clearly miles ahead of everyone he was in the fucking ring with, and he knew it, and he performed like it, and it was simple shit. He's not doing a shooting star press or anything like that, but the shit that he's doing is athletic. It's outrageous for that time period, and he's just letting his fucking shit fly. He's talking shit to that heel version of Shawn is one of my favorite versions of Shawn. He's just talking wild shit. He's humping flags. He's picking his nose with shit. He's coming up there with big ass sausages on television, strip poker. He's just going fucking bananas. And then there's The Undertaker. And it didn't dawn on me until I watched this back that this was the end of their program at the time, and they had 3 matches. The singles match at Ground Zero, where it was just a one-on-one match, regular match, and they had ended like in a double count on or double DQ or something. Then the Hell in a Cell match, then this. The singles match, it's a rub. It's 2 wrestlers just going at it, but the Hell in a Cell and the casket match very heavily favors The Undertaker. Shawn would go on to win both matches, but in the last match would break his back and ended up losing the title to Stone Cold at WrestleMania and then going into that 4-year hiatus. I don't think there's a wrestler alive that would have killed for that kind of push, and then it just went away. 2 straight back-to-back wins, the first ever Hell in a Cell. 45 minutes, bleeding to death, but still win. And then the casket match. 2 matches that Undertaker made famous. He beat him back-to-back and then disappeared. I'm like, oh, man, what version of Shawn Michaels would we have gotten? Like when we said earlier about the Gunther gets to brag, right? Because he beat Goldberg and Cena in the same year. Okay. And now he's out here getting all this heat. What version of Shawn would it have been? What if he would have had those 2 wins and then just lived his life as a mercenary and just an asshole, a curmudgeon every fucking Monday on Raw? It would have been unfucking sufferable. It would have been great television. At some point, he's pulling his meat out. I'm going to call that. He's going to go too far. He's going to push some sort of button. But yeah, this casket match is wild. There's so many things happening during the course of this. And what did you think of, but what did you specifically think of that ending?
The whole match within itself, I want to point out that the storytelling here, the way they danced around that casket was fucking amazing. Absolutely fucking amazing. And while I was watching it back, and I noticed you pointed it out because you hate gimmick matches. Well, I'm sure this is the earlier stage where some of these gimmicks are fairly new, like they're not abused too much just yet. So the feeling there is a little bit better.
Really quickly, the casket match is not new, but this may have been maybe the 5th or 6th one that off the top of my head, I could do the research, but they spaced them out so well that they were rare, that you rarely ever saw them. Mm-hmm. And Shawn's credit, what you just said about the way they danced around the casket, a lot of the other opponents that the Undertaker faced, for whatever reason, Yokozuna, Mabel, you can go on the line, Goldust, they all had the same gimmick when it came to this match. They were afraid of the casket.
Mm-hmm.
There was some sort of fear toward the casket. It's almost like sacrilege. They're playing with death. That was the whole idea.
Sure. Yep.
Shawn didn't look like he was afraid of the casket. It looked like he was afraid of Taker putting him in the casket. I don't want to lose this goddamn match.
Yeah.
And it's just like they just had Shawn was just in fucking survival mode the entire goddamn match. But continue your point.
No, and he played to that. He really looked like he was on the edge the entire time. And he was there, like I said, they were dancing around that casket. They made a. I was watching it at one point, and I'm like, I'm not even sure this is even Shawn. Obviously, this is probably not even Shawn's best match, but like while I was watching it, I'm like, I get why Shawn would be pissed that he's not the guy. Because like if you're doing this night in, night out, how are you not the guy? I mean, obviously, as you explained, it seemed like he was going in that trajectory where it was about to be his turn, and then something happened. But he was, I don't know what time frame I'm watching this match in, but he's red fucking hot, man. That dude is like, he was moving around that ring. The storytelling was fantastic. I love the part when they were like both in the casket and it was shut. And they're like moving around, and then they're like fucking pop out, and he starts crawling. And Taker grabs him to pull him in. And he's like fucking Then they go and start beating him. And it's like clawing at the fuck like that. I'm watching. I'm like, dude, you don't. I hate being that guy, but it's like, man, I was like, I don't like. Where do I get this feeling today? You know what I mean? And that was around the time when I was like, man, I get why people who grew up like you were the target audience for this shit. Like, it's hard to look at today in the same, like, it's hard to not fantasize about that shit because it was new and it was like, I don't know. Yeah. The storytelling there was absolutely fantastic. And the way they ended it, starting that new program with Kane and Taker and the whole fire and everything like that, the turn, Paul Bearer, the both of them turning on Taker, setting the shit on fire and all like that.
That shit had people legitimately shook.
I feel like I remember seeing that, like when it was happening. Yeah, like I remember. I have this memory when he was pulling them up and he was pouring the gasoline. Like I remember seeing this while you were watching. I'm like, damn. In this moment, I'm thinking, obviously, there's a thing there. Taker goes through the bottom. He's in the back watching this. But I also remember in the moment, I like being a kid, like, oh, he just set that guy on fucking fire. And he put holes in the shit first and then filled it up with gasoline and said, I'm like, yo, that's crazy. Like, I remember like being young and like kind of I was getting memories of that shit.
Considering the first time you saw Kane and he did that Hell in a Cell, ripped the door off the Hell in a Cell, and it scared the shit out of you. And then this scared the shit out of you. The fact that he would later become your favorite wrestler is amazing.
Oh, he's absolutely he's the man. Greatest big guy in the business, hands down.
It's hard to argue.
Can't convince me otherwise.
Hard to argue.